Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about LED. So LED panels and kind of creating a cool, little more abstract design like this, and then just a couple different things that you can do with LED panels. So this is an example of kind of what I'll show today. I was just playing around with this design idea and came up with this kind of wide look with three different sort of horizontal LED strips in the middle and then two screens on the left and right. Typically, honestly, the hardest part for me, or what takes the longest for me, is usually finding graphics to go on the LED screens when you do something like this. So I was playing around with just adding graphics from Google. I initially had something like this graphic, which I just wanted something bright and colorful to kind of fill out the screen so you could see exactly where they were. But I wanted to find something that was more unique because I've used this graphic before. So I ended up going into Midjourney and playing around with some different graphics, and I wanted something that had a lot of like graphs, like a kind of abstract charts and graphs sort of look, just to kind of play with that look. And I didn't really get anything great. I ended up settling on this one. But again, that's a graphics sort of thing is something you could play with forever. So a lot of times it's just like get something that sort of works and then kind of go from there. So anyways, the rest of this is a mixture of lighting and LED panels. So I'll kind of explain how this is set up, and then we can go in and start from scratch real quick and try to build this pretty quickly here. So basically what I have going on here is I have a bunch of LED or light bars here. So I think these are like 4 feet wide. And each one of these is connected to a truss upright in the back. So if I go to top view here, you can see basically I just did truss uprights along the curve of this, and then LED kind of attached to this truss. So it's LED panels and then lights every other one. And then for the bottom, I just blacked out the bottom. I originally had some LED lights at the bottom here, which looked good, but it shined too brightly off of the stage here. So I just moved those down. And then you could probably put something black to cover these truss as well so that you don't see the tops of them. So there's things you could do to make those disappear as well. You could do that in between too, if you wanted to. And then these, I just have some truss holding up these screens as well. Okay, so, and just as an example, I put kind of a band up here, and maybe this is kind of a corporate style event, but has, a sort of celebration with the band and stuff like that, as well as some good lighting. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in here and delete this backdrop to kind of show you how I set this up. I'll turn the room lighting up a bit here. So what I'm going to do to start this is I'm just going to go to this build button here, and I'm going to go to rigging, and I'm going to select the ground supported truss here, and you'll see that over here I have 2 truss uprights. You do have to set the height to be in an increment of what truss would actually work in. So if I were to change this to 15, it would go into 15 feet, but if I were to change it to like 13, it'll basically disappear because it needs to be in an actual increment. So I'm going to change this back to 18, and then I'm going to go to my top view here, and basically I want these to be about 6 feet apart. So from, I believe it's from the middle to the middle is 6 feet, you can see up here. So I'm going to change my snapping settings to 6 feet, and I'm just going to hold Alt and drag this over, and I can just drag all these over like that. And then, so I have those truss uprights. What I want to do now is just add some LED screens here. So I'm going to do this LED curve here, and it looks like it's way too big for some reason. I think I need it to be, let me change the layout to 1. I think I had the layout at like 3 or something, which just put a bunch on top of each other. So I believe this was like 45 or 50 feet by 3 feet. Let me see here. I think I did 45 feet. And this is just kind of roughed in. And then from here, I just held Alt and dragged up. But I'm not sure how far I wanted these apart, so we'll just rough it for now. Do something like this. Move it down a bit. And then, yeah, we'll go with that. And then let me place the lights actually next, and then we can move everything a bit. So for the lights, I'm going to go into our Add Objects button here, so I can just move I'm gonna move the band out of here for now so I can have some, so you can see things a little better. So I'm just going to drag in this light fixture here, and if I hold it over this truss piece, it'll go right in front of it. And then all I need to do is go to my side view by hitting the 4 key on my keyboard, and I'm just going to rotate it out. Okay, so from there, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to change this back to 6 feet, and this should now line up. Actually, you know what I wanted to do real quick was I wanted to make these like a thinner fixture, so I believe I made these just a little bit smaller. Obviously, that it's not going to look perfect there, but I just wanted them to be a little smaller, so there's different fixture that you could find to look like that. And then I'm just going to copy these over. And from here, I'll just select them all. Let me change this back to like a couple inches. Okay, and so you can see here, I do like the lights on bottom, but they kind of shine off this surface too much, so I think I want to move them up. So an easy way to grab all of the lights there is to, actually I added a bunch of other uplights in there, so what I want to do is just go to the, go to the side view here, select these guys, and then just shift click on these so that I can group them. Let me do it this way. And this will make it a lot easier if they're in a group. I can move them and change the color and everything like that. Okay, now they're in a group, and I'm just going to move them up to here, and then I'm going to select these and move them down a bit. Okay, cool. So now I have that look. I'll go ahead and change the color of these just a bit real quick. And then I need to move the lights a bit. So I'm going to move actually the LED screen is about right, and then I'll just move the truss and everything on them. So I'm just going to move these up. I'm going to change my snapping back to 0. And just moving these a bit. Not really trying to get it perfect. Doesn't really matter right now. Cool, and you could always make the LED screens wider or whatever you want to do, obviously. It's up to you. Okay, from there, I believe I just added in another couple of screens. So let me go to build, and I'll place the screens that are there. And I'm just going to do some, I think I did some 20-foot flat screens, the 2 on each side. So I moved these out a bit. Let me, just like 5 feet. And then from here, I can just take one of these and create a couple of them. And, you know, depending on how you're hanging the screens, you might need to do like a arch or something, or another upright, depends on how you do it there. And then I'm going to angle this in. Just make sure, maybe I'll do 20 degrees. Kind of put it there. And then I'm actually going to delete this other one, and I'll just copy this over and rotate this guy 20 degrees. Rough that in there. Cool. And so I think these top pieces don't need to be there, so I'm just going to remove those. And then I can just add the graphics. So I'm going to select all of these, go back to my images, and select the graphic that I wanted there. And then from here you can kind of go in and adjust them. So they're too squished on these. So what I would do is I select all of them and then adjust these settings right here, which will adjust the way that the image sits on them. So you can kind of, it's easier to look at the circles and see if those are squished or not. So I'll do that, and then I'll just move this one up, move this one up, and then I might go ahead and change this back, make this a little wider. Cool, and then if you want to, I think this is still a little low, so maybe I'm going to move this, oops, group, and then select these and then move them up a little bit. They're kind of in the middle, and then what I did before is I just copied this and I just blacked it out so that you can no longer see anything. So turn the lighting or the intensity down all the way, and then you can adjust the gloss and the light spill here. And if you wanted to, you could copy this and move it up here too or something. Okay, so that's that, and then from there, if you wanted to play with the pixel pitch, you could go in and adjust the pixel pitch slider here. So if you wanted to actually see the pixels, you could move them up wide and then adjust the intensity of it all. And that's pretty much it. So that's kind of a quick and dirty version of how I did this. And then basically I set up some tables here, added some lights to the sides, added this stage to be reflective so it would really shine off of the LED. And added some stairs with just some basic cubes and made this look. And then from there you can just, I added a little haze there, just a subtle effect, and then you can set some camera views and create some different looks like this. And then you can also make an animation real quick off of it. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the LED stuff. Hopefully we'll do some more with LED, as you can do a lot with it. But again, remember, creating the design isn't too hard, but sometimes putting the graphics on can be the longest, or take the longest. So anyways, hope that helps. Let us know if you have any questions. Hit us up on our chat button at the bottom right of our website if you have any questions, or just respond to this video, and we'll try to get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks.